Hey fellas. Alright, so I kind of promised a unboxing, and so that's what we're going to do right now. Alright. If I can even get it in camera shot. There we go. This is a bushing buddy. Every pin set has its own bushings that you turn. They're guides so that you don't turn off too much material. I'll label these with each different pen type, but the bushings slide on here. They get locked in place by this, and just sits like that. As you can see, got 10, so I can do 10 different sets of pens. The more bushings I get, the more of these I'll have to get. My dad has 4 of these right now. So we've got at least 40 different pens that we can turn. So I'll be taking this home and labeling that. So we'll set that aside for a moment. These are blanks. This is what comes. This is how pens start that don't have a logo. This one's got some beautiful coloration in it. It's a very nice white pearlescent. This is a coconut, so it's not quite as pure as a Princess Ice, but again, nice pearlescent in it. This is Ivory Snake, and you can see why it's called that. These are the different sides, and you can see just the light, how it just catches, which I think that's going to turn into a magnificent pen. Set of pens. Here's Opal. Turn it around. Doing this, looking at the blanks, reading the tea leaves, as it were, we get an idea of what the pen ultimately will look like, but we have no idea how the color runs. Does it run all the way through? Does it stop on one side? I'll show you some of the other blanks I've got, because these are, for lack of a better term, plastics. They're resin, acryluster, acrylic. Here's some, I can't remember the wood, but this is what's called a hybrid blank. You have resin and wood, and I'll look through my receipts and find the name of this wood. So I've got 3 of these. Nice rich dark wood with this almost fire colored resin, and you can see here there's 3 pieces of wood there. So that will these are going to make some beautiful pens. Here's some more hybrids that I picked up. The green is quite bright on one side, but it's a beautiful emerald on the other. And here you can kind of see what I was talking about with the other one. You know, you have to question how deep colors run and how they're going to look once it's over. Like this one, I know that there's no wood beyond this point, beyond here. This is all going to be acrylic. So when I go to decide what pen to put this on, I've got to keep in mind that this is where the wood is. This one has 2 pieces of wood. Now I've got another order from the gentleman, Scott, that made these. So I'm going to get some more of those that are different woods. And I'm really looking forward to turning these. This is going to be a great time. Should make for some very pretty, very attractive pens. Okay, that's one box out of the way. This is a pen kit. This is a standard pen kit, or, well, not so standard. We're actually going to make a modification. Let's see, where is it? No. Oh. Where are you? Oh, I think I already did the conversion. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, so this kit, let me, hold on one second. Sorry as I stumble my way through this. So, the kit that is right here, Commander fountain pen, is this kit right here. Let's see if I can bring that up. This is witness wood from the Battle of Gettysburg and the Gettysburg Address. So that's 24 karat gold satin, and I have yet to write with the fountain tip, but we're going to learn fairly soon. Okay, so you see the blanks, and they can be wood, they can be acrylic, it can be all sorts of different materials. But blank plus kit parts turns into a pen. And you'll get to watch me make plenty more of these. So we'll go ahead and put this back in here. This is actually an ink cartridge for the fountain pen. Self-contained little container of ink, which is nice for beginning. I have a inkwell at home. I just haven't opened it up to fill my pen yet. When I do, I will surely film it and let you all see it. Okay, next up, micro mesh. Why they call it mesh, I don't know, but this is the sanding. This is part of finishing. These are, you dip them in water, get them wet, and you sand from, bring this into view. You go 1,500 to 12,000. After normal surface sanding, and you go by color. So there's your roughest grit. Green. 24 is a charcoal. 32. Actually, yeah, let me get this straightened up. 12K, 8,000, 6,000. It can be really easy to get these out of order, but I'll keep this near the lathe. Probably mount it somewhere. Who knows? All right, these go in the drawer for now. Let's see. All right. Surprisingly, a common finish for wood products. Get this pen fill out of the way. That needs to go back in its kit. Surprisingly, contact adhesive, also known as super glue. That's what we use to finish our wood pens. You can get a very nice, very, very nice finish with it. You can go natural, only doing a few coats like this. This is finished with CA and friction polish. I don't have any friction polish to show off today, but we've got thick, thin, and medium contact adhesive and some spray activator, so that just in case I need to speed things up, I can. So we'll go ahead and put those in the drawer down here. So Wood Turning Z is probably my favorite place to order from. They're fast, they're efficient. This is 2-part epoxy. You'll see me use this on pens that I have to paint the inner brass tubes on, and some of the other trickier pens. If you need a really, really, really good hold, this is the go-to. It's great stuff. All right, so I'm going to introduce some more blanks so that y'all can see those. These are blanks that I've been accruing down at my dad's shop, and he brought them up to me, and they include some woods and some acrylics and some dyed wood. So this one's kind of a piss poor example. Red pearl. This one has a lovely coloring to it. I think I have a pen that I can show you that uses the red pearl. This is a breast cancer awareness pen. Made it for somebody, and well, they never responded back, so I've kept it. It will find a owner sooner or later, but this is actually red pearl. And holding it under the light, it's only very slightly got a hue to it. But we painted the tubes, the brass tube inside, and glued the resin or the acrylic blank to the tube on the inside. Later on, you'll see why that's important. Not in this video, but once I start making videos. Let's see here. All right. This pen. This is a Vertex Supreme. It's a magnetic. The cap is held on by a magnet. Can post it. Right. This is my favorite pen. My favorite, personally. I love making them, and they write like a dream. And I've got one that's a fountain pen. or a fountain tip. So I'm looking forward to turning that. But to see what this looked like in blank form, there you go. It's called Renaissance. It's got some beautiful coloration in the black and the gold and the white. And again, this is one of those you kind of have to read the tea leaves as to what it's going to look like. All right. So in exchange with an Australian turner, I got Red Molly Burl, which I think this is going to turn out beautiful. I don't have any oil to show you the grain on this, but it's pretty fantastic. That'll make a nice, kind of a very regal looking pen, I'm sure. So here's some redwood burl. Now you may be asking, what's burl? Burl is a knot in the tree. What most woodworkers refuse to work with as far as furniture and whatnot. A lot of people actually use burls to fuel their fires at home. This is old Queensland Australian maple. Nice tight grain, but once it's in a pen and got some oil, got a nice finish on it, that's going to be spot on beautiful. And with that streak running through it, I'm going to have to find some way to accentuate that and try to make sure, yeah, it runs all the way through. So that's going to be on one side of the pen. You'll see this coloring band on one side of the pen, which will be, I think, pretty cool. All right, so this is just a selection of others. This is Spearmint. We've made a pen with this. This is acryluster again, acrylic. It's got a metallic sheen in it, and these pens turn out magnificent. I don't have an example to show today, but maybe in a future video. All right, let's just burn through these real quick. All right, this is a blue, and hopefully you can see some of that blue coming through on the camera. I promise you it doesn't do it justice, and there's not a side that's really finished well so you can see, but the blue is a baby blue, so I'll probably end up painting the tube on the kit for this. I'll probably paint it a nice baby blue so that it'll show through just a little bit. This is violet, and another one that I will paint the tube on. This is Cumulus, I believe. Yes, Cumulus. This makes a beautiful, almost sunset style pen. So here you can see this is one of our cigar pens. It is a nice rotate pen, and the coloring in it is just fantastic. I mean, this really reminds me of some fantastic sunsets and sunrises here on the beaches of Florida. So yeah, I really like this. And a lot of these are limited edition runs and custom one-off blanks. These are a bit thin. It's called Blue Steel. Don't know quite what I'm going to do with this yet. some of the blanks come in thinner styles, whereas some are a little bit meatier. Got more to them. You can kind of see the difference. I'll make a direct comparison here. There you go. So this one I've got more material to work with, which is nice. This is box elder, and it's been treated with resin. It's been stabilized so that nothing will get into it, but it's got blues, purples, and greens. And this is gonna, well, this will make a beautiful pen. I've seen this done on Silvermeister's channel. I'm probably going to be mentioning him a lot. He's a big inspiration to me as a pen turner and creator. So, yeah, you'll definitely be hearing that name again. This is a beautiful Seafoam, in which I do have a Seafoam pen to show you. And you can really see that pearl and the swirls in there. And it's just absolutely fantastic. Now this one, we did paint the tubes on the inside. We painted them a nice Seafoam green. So these turned out quite lovely. All right, this is blue stabilized box elder, which again is, it's wood, but it's been treated with resin and dyed, and that will make a very nice pen. Got some rib fruited molly that is from Australia as well. I think that'll turn out really nice. It's got some nice coloration, a lot of that. I'm almost speechless looking at this one because there's so much going on in this wood grain. Hopefully it's coming through on the camera there. So got that from Australia as well. Some African blackwood. This stuff is, my dad refuses to work with it anymore because it's blown up on him several times. And I'm willing to work with it and give it a shot. Another white pearl. And this is red something burl. This one's got a nice striation right here, so I could probably make this into a pin and cap, pin with a cap, similar to this. And this is kind of one of the ways that we read the tea leaves here, is hold a pin up to it and see where that striation is going to land, play with the orientation, and just figure out what we're going to do with the blank and figure out which pin it's going to look best on. Alright, so that's all the blanks put away. Next is something that's very important and a big chunky kaplunk. Gotta make some space on my little toolbox here. Sorry. Okay, so this is a sanding system. Get used to that. I knock stuff over all the time. So this is a very important part of making pens. Let's get all the stuff out of the box. Sorry that it's off the camera, but we'll make it work. All right. Take the plasticky stuff off. Okay. Let's adjust you just a little bit. See if you'll hold. This is a sander. I'll put the sandpaper on here, sanding disc. Okay. I'll use this. Set it right there. And what we do is I would turn this on, take the blank, and once I have it drilled and tubed, I can take this, run it in, sand it, pull it out, look, make sure that I see the brass and the tube. This makes sure that it's square 100% and good to go. So really looking forward to this. This is, my dad's got a big belt sander that has the disc on the side. This will be my stand-in for that since I have a very small work area right now. I'm sure I'll grow out of it at some point, but for right now, I'll work with what I have. So this is a very important part of making a pen because when we're squaring up blanks, once we have, this is not the best example. It's not really showing up very well. Here, I'll use this one to get the joints on either end straight. Come on, focus. There you go. I got something stuck to my finger. All right. To get these joints straight, that's where this puppy comes in. All right, so we'll just set this little joker off to the side. Because that will actually stay on top of the work surface. Here's some sanding discs. I've already got some more aggressive ones because you really do actually need some pretty aggressive stuff. Here are some of the bushings that will go on my bushing buddy, which was the first thing I showed you. These little bags are a pain. And all the Facebook groups that pen makers, all the groups that I'm in, people complain about these. Now these, like I said, here's one of the bushing racks. Slides on. Put that one on. And boom, there you go. That's how we keep track of the bushings. Now, the outer diameter, here, here, here. This is how thick the material has to be. So these actually stop us at the edges, and you'll see it in coming videos. you'll see how the bushings really work. So I gotta put these back in the bag so that I can take them back to the apartment and get my bushing buddy all labeled up. And this is Executive, which is just a type of pen. I have a series of pens that I'm doing, which is a Constitution series. The first 12 amendments, these are the kits for that. So, got these. Now, label casts. A label cast is, looks like this. My caster, Michael, he takes the tube, prints out the label, and it's a waterproof satin print that goes on the brass tube inside. You can see the brass in there. Now here specifically you can see how much I've actually got to take off the ends to get this all squared up. That's a lot of meat to take off, so I'd probably use a handsaw or a bandsaw if I had access to it to chop these ends off and get them just a bit closer to the end of the brass. So this is the way we get images, messages, pictures, whatever, stuff, soft, and a couple others have gotten label casts, and that's what this is. So you'll see me work with label casts. You'll see me work with, I'm working on 3D printing, and I'll explain that more later on. But this is just the addition of there's the Vertex Supreme fountain, another Vertex Supreme fountain, a cigar in copper. And I mean, this is the kit. You see the tubes. That's what will be glued inside whatever I'm going to use. If it's made by my caster, I can put these and store these away and hide them. But all this gets pressed together. I gotta decide on where I'm gonna put all this. So here are more, let's see, bushings, 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 bushings for days. And these will go home so that I can put the labels on here and also mark the drill size so that I know what size I'm going to drill it with. So, all great stuff. Okay, so didn't get to do these in the unboxing, but here are some of the tools that I need to use on the acryluster, the acrylics. I need to use a negative rake turning, and this is carbide. So you can see it is sharp. And that's what I need. Very, very sharp. This is also a carbide and a negative rake. This particular one is for running straight and getting everything straight. This one is mainly for taking bulk off. That's typically what I use it for. This one is a nice grooving tool. It's not a negative rake, it's a positive rake. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. And I can put nice grooves into whatever I need. I can also use this as a parting tool. Not suggested, but I could do it. Alright, so this, everybody's going to recognize this, sort of. This is what I'll put my drill bits in and mount it to the tailstock in my lathe, and I'll show that in a later video. So this is just a regular 3-jaw chuck. Runs in its own bearing. But when it's in the tailstock, it will actually stay still while the blank turns in the Jacob's chuck, which I can break off the machine and actually show it to you. Okay, this is a Jacob's chuck. Can pinch it down, open it up. Now this is what I use to drill holes. So I'll just break out a blank, show you. If it doesn't fit one way, try the other way. Now when I put this, you can see I've tightened it down, but not tight enough to damage the wood or the chuck. This is what spins. This is what turns. So when I get the pieces cut and cut down, I'll put them in this Jacob's chuck, put a drill, put the appropriate drill bit in this, and then the two come together. And of course you're going to see me do it. It'll be in pretty much every video. So this is an essential bit of kit, since I don't have a drill press to drill the hole vertically. I can drill the hole horizontally. If only I could talk. Okay, let's put the Jacob's chuck back on. And no, I don't know why they call it a Jacob's chuck. Or is that the Nova chuck? It is a Nova chuck. Sorry. Okay. Alright. So, that's there. This is an important piece of kit. Wow, this video is getting long. Alright. These will go in either end of the lathe, and I can use the force on the lathe to squeeze the pins together, and this will be something you also see in a later video. So, alright guys, I would say 40 minutes is plenty long, and you got to see lots of stuff. It's going to take a while to upload this, but thanks for joining me, and hey, look on the bright side. Have a good one.